Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack compelling information, pull out the key insights, and really get you up to speed. Today, we're looking at the incredible evolution of the web, specifically how it's completely changed the game for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. So our mission, really, is to distill what matters from some great sources. We've got the evolution of the web by ONEXUS, a recent study from the International Trade Center, reports from Juniper Research, the Fed, Visa. Quite a stack. The goal is to give you a shortcut, to understand how the web empowered SMEs, but also, crucially, brought some pretty serious security headaches. Okay, let's unpack this. Right, so let's start at the beginning. The foundational moment, you could say, 1989. Tim Berners-Lee introduces the World Wide Web, and he had this great quote: "The web has democratized access to global markets for small businesses," which really sums it up. But those early days, the web was basic. Static HTML pages, think digital brochures, really. Revolutionary for getting seen, sure, but pretty limited interaction. More like a signpost than a shop.
Yeah, but even that initial static presence, it was significant. There's a 2023 study by the International Trade Center, the ITC. They found over 80% of the SMEs they surveyed, the ones using digital tools, like even those basic websites, they reported, better visibility, better customer reach. And interestingly, they were also more resilient when the economy got shaky. So just being online, even simply, was already a strategic plus.
That visibility point is huge. But you're right, the real shift, the thing that changed everything, was when websites started to actually do things. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The arrival of dynamic technologies, PHP, ASP, that sort of thing. Suddenly, websites weren't just static pages. They could interact in real time, pull data, personalize things, handle transactions. The web kind of came alive.
Exactly, that dynamic content. It enabled those real-time interactions, which naturally boosted customer engagement and, critically, the potential for sales. Look at Amazon. Started as just an online bookstore, pretty simple. But by leveraging dynamic tech managing, inventory, processing orders, recommending stuff, they scaled into this, global behemoth we know today. It completely changed their trajectory, which raises an important question. How did this more active, interactive web set the stage for even bigger changes down the line, especially for the little guys?
Right. So the web's getting interactive. What did this mean for SMEs as we rolled into Web 2.0? This was the era of the participatory web, wasn't it? User-generated content, social media taking center stage. Gary Vaynerchuk summed it up well, I think. He said, social media has given every business the potential to be seen by millions. Suddenly, reach wasn't just for the big corporations.
He's spot on. And platforms like, say, WordPress, built on those dynamic foundations, they made it so much easier for SMEs. They could manage their own sophisticated digital presence without needing, a whole team of web developers. It democratized the creation side, too. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, think about Airbnb. They didn't just build a website, they built web applications, connecting hosts and travelers, completely turning the accommodation industry on its head without owning a single hotel room. By, 2021, they were valued over $100 billion. It just shows the incredible power of web applications for scaling, even if you start small. Proves assets don't have to be physical anymore.
And then, boom, the mobile revolution, smartphones. Suddenly, the world wasn't just accessible on the web, it was accessible from your pocket. This completely rewired things for SMEs, how they operated, how they reached people.
Oh, absolutely. By 2023, smartphone penetration globally was around 85% of adults. That's huge. And what's fascinating here is how this levels the playing field. Suddenly, SMEs could reach customers pretty much anywhere, anytime. That used to be the exclusive domain of big companies with massive infrastructure. Now, not so much. You could run a business from anywhere.
And maybe the single biggest mobile game changer for small businesses was mobile payments. The flexibility, the convenience. It allowed tiny operations to compete with much larger ones payment-wise. Platforms like Square, PayPal here, Stripe Terminal made taking card payments super easy.
And the numbers back that up, definitely. Global mobile payment transactions, they shot past $1.7 trillion back in 2022. Juniper Research thinks that'll hit, get this, $4.7 trillion by 2027. It's massive growth, and SMEs are a huge part of that. A 2023 Fed study found 83% of U.S. small businesses take digital payments now. That's up from 73% just a few years earlier in 2019. And it's not just the U.S. Look at M-Pesa in Kenya. By 2023, processing over $300 billion a year, mostly through small merchants. Mobile payments are just fundamental in many economies now.
And for the entrepreneurs themselves, it's more than just taking the money, isn't it? It's the data.
Yeah.
Real-time sales data. Understanding what's selling, who's buying, when the busy times are, all from your phone. mean, that kind of insight used to require really expensive, complex POS systems. Now it's accessible to almost anyone.
Exactly. And the cost structure is designed for SMEs. Transaction fees are typically, what, around 2.6% to 2.9%, plus maybe 30 cents per transaction. And lots of the basic plans have no monthly fees. It's very competitive.
Plus that consumer behavior shift. You mentioned Visa.
Yeah, a 2024 Visa survey found 60% of consumers would actually skip a business if it was cash only.
Wow, 60%.
Yeah. So taking mobile payments isn't just nice to have anymore. For many, it's basically essential for survival.
That really drives it home. Maybe some real-world examples would help illustrate this.
Sure. So take, for example, a food truck owner in Nairobi. They grab a $29 Stripe reader, sync it to their phone, boom, taking cards at a market. Kenya's got over 90% adult mobile penetration, so they're tapping right into how people want to pay, expanding their customer base instantly.
Makes sense?
Or think about a craft vendor in São Paulo. Maybe they use PayPal here, because getting that money the next day is crucial for their cash flow, especially for weekend markets. Brazil's mobile payment scene is exploding to projected $200 billion by 2027. So being part of that is key.
Okay.
Then you've got, say, a hawker stall in Kuala Lumpur. They can take cards, e-wallets using Square, or maybe GrabPay, helped along by government pushes for cashless payments. Or even a chai seller in rural India using a little PhonePe device linked to UPI that's India's instant payment system. UPI handled like over 50 billion transactions in 2023. It's completely transformed payments there.
It's pretty incredible how universal this is becoming. Different platforms, different places, but the same result. Sophistication isn't tied to size or location anymore. That barrier to entry for digital commerce, it's really crumbling for SMEs everywhere. A smartphone and the right app, that's the core now.
Okay, so beyond payments, which are obviously huge, how else did mobile change how SMEs connect and operate? Let's talk mobile marketing.
Right. Well, apps turned push notifications into basically direct marketing gold mines. There's data from Localytics showing personalized push messages, and the personalized part is key, can boost engagement by up to 800% compared to just blasting generic messages.
800%? That's massive.
It is.
So like a local coffee shop using an app, maybe Punch or something similar, they track your usual order, then ping you with a discount when you happen to be walking nearby. That kind of precision is exactly what SMEs need with tighter budgets. No more wasting money on scattergun ads. Mobile lets them target effectively.
And don't sleep on the operational side. Mobile tools didn't just change marketing, they changed how businesses actually run.
Absolutely. Think about mobile-optimized tools like Trello or Slack. Small teams can coordinate projects across different locations, no fancy office needed. Or inventory apps like Sortly. A small boutique owner can track all their stock right from their phone, cuts down overhead, fewer mistakes, and the impact shows up in the numbers. By 2024, eMarketer found mobile commerce was nearly 60% of all e-commerce sales, 60%. And those SMEs that really embraced mobile-friendly sites, in-app purchasing, they often saw revenue bumps of, say, 20-30% compared to those lagging behind.
A 20 to 30% bump. For a small business, that's not just nice, that's potentially transformative.
It really is. It shows it's not just about being online, but being online the way customers are, which is increasingly mobile. And this trend isn't stopping. We've got 5G rolling out more widely by 2025. That means faster load times, richer app experiences, things like augmented reality for trying on clothes virtually. SMEs, because they're often more nimble, can actually jump on these faster than some bigger, slower companies.
Okay, so immense opportunity, incredible growth.
Yeah.
But with every leap forward in tech, there's usually a shadow side. We have to talk about security risks.
Yeah, inevitably. And the forecasts are pretty stark. Cybersecurity ventures projects, global cybercrime costs will grow 15% year over year, reaching $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. That's up from $3 trillion in 2015. It's a really eye-watering figure, and they're pretty firm. It's grounded in data. And SMEs are, unfortunately, often prime targets. Why? Well, they usually have fewer resources, less budget, less dedicated expertise for IT security compared to big corporations. They're seen as easier targets.
A classic example, unfortunately, is the Equifax breach back in 2017. Cost them over $4 billion in fines, settlements. A huge hit, even for a massive company. Shows the scale of potential damage.
Exactly. So it's absolutely crucial for SMEs to get serious about security.
Right.
Basic stuff, but essential. Like implementing SSL TLS encryption, that's the padlock you see in your browser, keeps data safe between the site and the customer. Complying with privacy laws like GDPR in Europe, that's resulted in over $1.1 billion in fines since 2018, so the regulators aren't messing around. And critically, training their people. Human error is still a massive factor in breaches. Phishing emails, weak passwords, that kind of thing.
So pulling this all together, looking at the future for SMEs, it seems clear they can't just chase the latest tech. They have to build security in from the start, right?
Yep.
Make it fundamental.
You've hit the nail on the head. Brian Krebs, the cybersecurity expert, said it perfectly. The balance between innovation and security has never been more critical for SMEs. And there are solutions. Implementing automated security tools helps. Regular security audits are vital, fostering a real culture of security awareness within the team. And using established frameworks like OWASP when building web applications, it provides guidelines for secure coding practices right from the beginning.
Okay, so to summarize, the web's journey from static pages to dynamic interactions, then the whole mobile explosion. It's undeniably given SMEs incredible power. They can compete globally like never before. But that success, moving forward in the digital age, really depends on managing both sides of the coin. The amazing growth potential and those ever-present security risks.
It's a constant balancing act. Cybercrime costs are soaring, as we said. Vigilance is key. Investing in security isn't just an expense. It's about protecting everything you've built, your reputation, your customer trust.
Right. The future for SME innovation looks incredibly bright, full of potential, but it absolutely hinges on that unwavering commitment to robust security, which really leads to a final thought for you, our listener, to ponder. As this digital landscape keeps shifting and evolving, how will you strike that crucial balance? How will you embrace the innovation while making sure your digital defenses are strong enough for what's next? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.